Ladies and gentlemen, this is the issue 3, page 28, director's commentary. My name is Keenan Lafferty.
My name is Colton Kresser.
And what are we going to I the delivery. I was going to say, well, what are we doing today, Colton? What are we doing today? Should we
usually say, and we're going to talk about some things. That's what you usually say. And
I know, but I wanted to throw it at you and be like, what are we doing today?
And maybe be like, we're going to talk about some things. But you say, and we.
Okay, you know what? Let's just keep it. Go ahead. What are we doing today, Colton?
You put me on the spot here. We're going to talk about some things.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about this latest page release that I'm super stoked on.
Yeah.
This page was a lot of fun to make.
Mm-hmm.
Mainly because it's a page that...
I'm just scooting closer. Look, I'm just scooting closer because I was out of the frame.
I didn't say anything.
Okay. You gave me that look.
I just...
All right. Back to this.
Continue. This is just a page I've been looking forward to for a while.
Yeah, why is that?
Could
it be because of anything in particular about this page?
Alicia finally got what she wanted.
Yes.
Or most of what she wanted, I guess.
Alicia got what she wanted. Yeah.
I think that was it. Like,
pretty close.
Like, I just knew. Hopefully, I don't.
Did I seriously not?
I don't check because I don't know.
Right. Keep talking. Keep busy.
I don't know. I was hoping that everyone would just kind of like lose their minds, right? Like everyone would just be like, "Woo!" Like when they saw this, be like, "Oh my god, what happened? He stepped on her dress."
Which is what maybe Aaron did.
Yeah.
Actually, I think that's more of something Holden
would do. He'd be like, "Whoa!"
Yeah. But anyway,
and with that being said,
we don't. Yeah, but the page does not start like this. It starts looking like crap like this, right, Colton? Did you say it looks like crap?
I didn't say that.
Which really offends me because this is where all of the skill comes out. You're saying my innermost skill. This is my spirit. And you're saying my spirit is crap.
I mean, my spirit's pretty crappy too because those are my ideas too. I think the ideas are good, but like at this point, like the delivery is not right. You know
right.
So like the delivery later on is way better.
The quality is crappy.
This is the setup.
The spirit, but nobody really gives a crap about the spirit.
This is the setup for the punchline. Like if this was a joke, which the whole comic is. Mm-hmm. This would be the setup.
So what you're saying is people don't give a flying rat crap about your spirit. Is that what you're
or your inside jokes. Yeah, basically. But why don't you talk about this, Keenan? He actually worked on this while I was at work, and he changed a few things. So go back.
We changed. We changed some things. Way back here, actually. Yeah, sorry about this. Originally, it was going to look like this, and what was happening was it was this big panel right in the center of Emma and Nico spinning around, right. And then Emma's like, "Wow, you really did it!" And then Nico's like, "Yeah, I did." And then all of a sudden, Emma's like just leaning into him, right? Like
we were planning on her kind of like
a little bit more
wanting
forward.
to like be like, oh yeah,
wanted to get kind of close,
like, get a little friendly and stuff.
But then I realized, like towards the end, it wasn't believable. Like the thing that bugs me the most, and I've said this a lot of times about comics, is that when characters do things that just don't make sense. And I felt like, like Nico made Emma laugh, and she's like giggly, and she thinks that he's cute. But that's like something, like at the point where she's leaning in to like get close to him. That's like a serious relation, way too fast. That's way too fast.
Well, and then also I think that it was good that we like kind of picked up on that too, because when we lay out these sketches, it's seriously just like we don't think twice about it. It's just like, okay, this, next page, this, and then when we're actually going back to the page, it's like maybe we could try this,
which can be and it can be a good thing. And actually, most of the time we do just lay out pages. Yeah, it ends up working out really well. But then sometimes, why did it go to this?
You were looking. I don't know.
Oh, okay, never mind. For some reason, I thought it jumped to the end of the page. Never mind. Okay, so. But yeah, halfway through you realize, oh, you know what? There could be a way that we could add some panels to this to make it a little bit more clear what's happening.
Definitely.
And in the sketch stage is when it is supposed to happen. That is the best time to make big changes and add, subtract panels. Maybe a character is going to be going on a little bit longer of a dialogue thing, so we can create some panels to accommodate that.
And also, Keenan pointed this out. I didn't notice because I usually don't like to go back and reread like past work or like view it. I don't know. I'm weird like that. But Keenan noticed
we have different we have different stances on that.
The page layout, the page layout was almost identical to the last page as well.
Right.
And
yeah.
You know how we feel about redundancy.
Yeah.
So
it's more Colton.
Yeah. I'm
starting to trust him a little bit more.
I have this weird thing where Keenan, he like loves to go back and like read past things in his journal and read how he like felt and stuff like that and all these ideas he had,
reliving experience.
And he likes to go read back into the comic and stuff. And me, I don't know why.
Talk about what I do in my journal. That's personal stuff.
Yeah, I said that you read it.
You just told the entire world that I like to read my journal.
So?
How dare you?
I don't know. I don't like to read mine. Yeah, I thought that I would. Because Keenan was like, dude, I love like going back and rereading it. And I was like, yeah, like that sounds really awesome. I want to try that. And then one day I wrote in my journal, I wrote down, I don't know, it was really kind of just like the way I was feeling that day and about life and everything. And then I like went back a long time later. I was like, yeah, I really want to read this. And then like as I read it, personally, I was just kind of like, I feel kind of like, I don't know. It just like made me feel that way again, and it like made me like
not happy,
like unhappy. And
you like to bury the past,
kind of like sickly. Yeah, I like to just
bury the past,
and it helps too because like when you write it down, it just gets out of your mind completely 100%, and then you don't worry about it anymore, as opposed to like keeping it,
which can be nice.
So it totally helps, and like I feel like if I read it, it's kind of like okay, I kind of like put this to
opening old wounds
to rest or whatever. You know, like I don't want to really.
I know what you mean.
Read that anymore or whatever, and then. But I also like the way Johnny Depp put it. He says that he doesn't like to watch any of his movies. Like obviously he watches, playbacks and things like that, but he doesn't ever go see his movies when they're finished, like in the theater, because he's worried that if he goes and sees his own movies and sees himself acting, he'll criticize himself and put himself down and feel less confident, and he'll become not as good of an actor. And not like I'm doing that because that's what Johnny Depp does. I just realized like that started happening to me, and then I actually like saw the interview or whatever where he saw that, and it really made sense, and I kind of like that too. Like you don't want to be able to put yourself down or whatever, and
right. I suppose.
But you're
more of a Johnny Depp.
Yeah, you use it differently, whereas you like learn from it. Yeah, you go back and
I'm constantly looking at old pages. I'm constantly looking at stuff that I did, before and figuring out how I could do it better. Right. Speaking of that, I left the time lapse running right here, so I'm just gonna go ahead and jump ahead.
How long did you leave it running for?
I don't know, man. I must have been eating dinner or something.
That's like an hour.
Yeah,
it's been going for a while.
Yeah, but this one was a lot of fun, especially doing the scene where I just imagine this. The scene in the movie where the characters are like swinging each other, and then you can see the cameras on their face, and the background's like swirling behind them. That's what I imagine this being when we finally make it in animation, and that's what I was thinking of when I was doing these panels. And I really liked it. I feel like I'm getting a lot better with just doing the characters and just, I don't know, just getting their expressions, getting their faces right.
Good. But I think one thing that definitely helps, especially like, I don't know if you're picking up on this, but like for me, I always think, whenever I think about like a scene or something that goes on in a comic, it always plays out as a movie. It's never a still image.
I always try to think about that too.
Yeah, it's never like, okay, like a still image. It's always a clip. Like I did film for 5 years. I still do film. I shouldn't say I did, but I still do film, and I'm studying film all the time. And
as we've seen.
Yeah, obviously. But I really like, if I ever envision it, like even if it doesn't make sense, I'm like, Keenan, just like imagine this page, right? And there's this panel, and like imagine the camera's like panning, like even though you can't do that, like he's got it, but it's cool because like my ideas, I'm like, just imagine it's like panning this way or doing this, and he's able to capture that and like draw it, and that's really cool. I think that's really cool. Yeah,
well, that's something actually that I feel like I did a lot more at the beginning of the comic that I really liked, and I mean, it makes sense a little bit more in the beginning of the comic because there's less dialogue, and you're really like setting up the scenery and stuff, and really giving a sense of mood. I'm referring specifically to like when Emma drops the axe, and it like just you see it falling down and it hits the ground at the beginning, and I really liked stuff like that where it was more of an animation page.
And the way you drew like a few like the text, how it was like it looked like it was like sliding into the frame.
Yeah, like it's like
things like that.
Yeah, I want to do some more stuff like that as we go into it. And I did a little bit more at the beginning, I think, of issue 3, where it's just the bikes on the road. Yeah. And it's just different panning shots of stuff like that. I really like doing that at the beginning of each issue.
The only thing that I would say is, like, for right now, like, it's, like, not really necessary, but in the future, when we get, like, I don't know, more action-oriented type stuff going on, or more more movement, less talking, more like, you know, just being able to like read the characters and like their body language and stuff. It'll probably happen a lot more.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, it's probably not important to show like an animation of Nico and Emma like doing a
like
twirl or something, you know, but I think in the area specifically where I want to convey a certain mood, I think it's very important to do stuff like that.
Yeah.
If animation really
definitely
adds to it.
For
and I am thinking about doing stuff more like that in the future. So one thing that I did for this time lapse that I didn't do in the other one, and I realized when we were doing the last commentary, was I did not time lapse myself doing the line work. Because
in the last one or this one?
Not on this one.
Okay.
On this one, because I realized it's not really. I really feel like time lapsing the line work is not really that interesting. And it adds some more time, I guess, to it, but it's just basically redrawing all the blue lines.
Is true.
Yeah, and I was like kind of afraid of it because I was like, oh, because sometimes I send my lines out to other artists, and I was like, oh man, but I'm not gonna be able to time lapse the line art.
Yeah,
but I didn't realize that it actually doesn't really matter. It's fine to just go straight to the finished lines and then do the mask. So thinking about just sending out the lines more often because
because Alicia is
awesome.
Do you want to talk about the very bottom page, the very bottom panel?
The bottom panel,
doing the line art.
Yeah. Well, doing the line art for the very last panel.
Yeah, the very last panel because you were just like, I don't know, talking about. So we were hanging out and he was drawing it and he was just super pissed. And to me, like, I don't really know. He always has these little flares and style like on the line art. And maybe it's just because I don't draw, like I don't work on the comic in that like medium that I don't catch it. Like it looks fine to me, but he's like getting all pissed and stuff. He's like,
yeah,
all these lines are the same weight. And he's like mad. I was like, why are you mad?
I'm really picky with
That's
the line
good
art,
though.
Which is why, I mean, that's why I'm really grateful that again, Alicia can pull it off.
Yeah, man.
But another thing that I want to talk about in the meantime, like right now, you guys know that I'm doing gradient maps for the backgrounds. I just do them black and white, and then I do something called a gradient map. Basically, it just makes the computer do all the work for me and makes me look awesome in the process. And then I take all the credit for it at the end.
Saves lives and children.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
But I want to specifically talk about why we decided to change this to Emma getting her dress stepped on and then falling into Nico.
Right.
And again, it goes back to that whole thing where like it just didn't seem like Emma would do that. There's no reason why she would normally just like lean into him. Maybe it's like questionable, but I didn't like it. And I thought it would be way more funnier and
funnier.
What is that? Did I say that right? Way more funny? Way funnier?
Way funnier?
Whatever.
I don't know.
It would be way more funnier if we had Emma just like faceplant right into Nico.
Because a running gag is we're trying to get her to just faceplant like as many times.
Well, a lot of people brought it up. She's like, she always just hits her head on stuff. She always just faceplants everything.
And we're like,
let's just have her faceplant right into Nico's chest. There.
Yep.
So, and then I really liked it because again, it was a little less forced, and it still gave us the final result.
Right.
And I feel like it's more cute because it's not forced.
Yeah, I feel like it's a lot. Yeah, it definitely
has more character,
a lot more cuteness with it.
Yeah,
because it's like on accident. It's like, oh, well, I almost fell, but he caught me instead of being like, yo, what's up, Nico? Like, you gonna kiss me or what? Like, it was. Yeah,
I felt like it was more something that
conveys a lot more cuteness.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what you were going to do with the background on the bottom, but doing the pink with the bubbles and stuff, I was like, that was perfect.
Yeah. Perfect. It's actually a very anime thing to do. I actually tried it another time. The very first time that Nico sees Emma, it has a similar kind of pink background with the bubbles.
Right.
Because I was like, how do they do it in the animes when the guy sees like a cute girl?
Right.
And he's like, oh, and I watched like a scene, and it basically just has like a pink background and has like bubbles and like shines going through it. And I was like, oh, okay, let's try it. And it worked okay the very first time, but this one I felt like it worked a lot better. And finally, I didn't look at any reference for it. I was just like, I saw it, I just felt it. Oh,
that was for me.
And this is that was me showing Colton my resume because he's putting together one.
I gotta put together a resume.
Yeah, hopefully that's not bad. Oh crap! I think my phone number was on there. Shoot,
dude, whatever.
Dang it!
Don't bring it up. Oh no!
Oh no!
Just don't bring it up. Dude, whatever. They'd have to like pause it and go frame by frame.
Well, they are now. They are now.
No, they won't. Dude,
yes, dude, I'm gonna have to block people now. Okay. Dude, there's like a few hundred people that watch
Just give them... Alright.
Okay, hopefully nobody watches this one.
Let's just put it this way. We'll block you.
Yeah.
We're just gonna block you.
Yeah.
Get that crap out of here.
Yeah. So anyways. Okay, so going back to this, I'm really...
it's not that we... Twitter is the best place. Facebook.
I've always had bad
Instagram.
dreams. I've always had bad dreams about like something bad showing up on the time lapse, and that was the last thing that I thought would happen. Oh man,
dude, I think
of all things,
the other night I had a dream that my teeth were falling out. So there's that.
Really?
It was scary,
dude. I've had that dream too.
I read a thing about it, and it basically just means that you're just stressed. Like when you imagine your teeth falling out, you're like super stressed. But the way it happens for me, it's kind of gross. Like I imagine that I still have braces, and when my teeth fall out, they stay in my mouth, hooked to the wire, so they don't just fall out. They're just in my mouth, and it's really gross. But it just means you're really stressed out.
Yeah.
So there's that.
Dude, that's weird.
Yeah, and then it was just, I don't know.
I'm thinking about
I was at the dentist too.
When we're done with this, I think I'm going to give this video to you and have you edit that part out, because people will call me.
You think so?
They will.
Okay, I can do that.
We have to edit that. Either that or we have to reshoot it.
No, it's fine. I can just take it out.
Okay.
It'll just cut, and then it'll just be like...
Okay, so if we do cut, we'll just be right. So anyway.
Yeah, so anyway.
Let's talk about the dialogue. Let's talk about the dialogue.
Yeah, we can just cut it out. It's not a problem. Alright, so page is all finished. Time lapse is over.
Page is done.
Nothing happened.
Nothing happened during that time lapse.
And
now we're talking about dialogue, which is Colton's specialty.
Yeah, so for this one, it was really weird because we decided to try something I feel like every episode we get on, we tell you guys we tried something new. We tried something new again. Who would have guessed?
Yeah, because we've never done most of this stuff before.
Yeah, and so
it's new.
It's all new. So what we decided to do is if you saw earlier in the time lapse, we actually laid the dialogue in before the sketches were even refined at all. It was just they're done, boom.
Which is something we're doing a lot now.
Yeah, it's they're done, perfect, just solid. And by the time Keenan got it cleaned up a little bit, it was all right, so how do you feel about the dialogue still? It was all right, I like this, and this. Let's just switch this word with this word, and that's it.
Yeah. We made a couple changes, and then it was done.
And it was just done.
Yeah.
Before Keenan had even started lining it, coloring it, anything.
And that was actually really nice.
And then it's
a lot.
The page is all done. All right, the page is done. Let's put in the dialogue. And it basically was just, we just sat next to each other and just... And it was really weird for me because it worked out so perfectly because I'm used to, not really stressing, but I'm used to, being a little worried because it's usually all right, the page is done, so what are we going to do with the dialogue? What's the final foundation? And then it's oh, well, we can't do that now because of the way the face looks, the way we changed it. We didn't
plan it like that.
Yeah, we didn't plan it like that. And that really sucked. And so this time it worked out so perfectly that it made me feel uncomfortable.
You said that. You're this worked really good, and that's kind of disturbing.
No, I was just I was this went together so well, and that disturbs me a little bit. And Keenan was what? What do you mean? And I was it went together so perfectly,
so good, it freaks me out.
Yeah, I was just
it's scary.
It was scary because I was something's got to go wrong. Something. Just something.
Yeah, it's what about bringing it to the wire we always do?
Yeah, I know, something.
It's all done? You mean
something has to go wrong?
Just like that? Yeah.
And guess what? Nothing went wrong, and it came out awesome.
Yeah. I feel this is probably one of the most cohesive pages that we've made so far in terms of action, in terms of flow, in terms of dialogue, and I think it's because it was all there and I was able to structure everything around it.
Yeah, definitely. And which is something else that we're trying now. We're trying another thing where Keenan actually gave me all the files that we had drawn for all
the secret PSD.
Yeah, the secret PSD that has basically 30 plus pages laid out.
Has that many?
There's a few. I just wanted to sound cool.
Okay, yeah. No, I think it was more 40. Yeah.
Yeah, there's probably
50.
15.
50.
But 50 pages. We got issues.
Yeah, we just got
issues.
But
we're just really ahead on these pages, and so we decided hey, if it worked for this page, why don't I just in my free time instead of trying to wait around for when it's convenient for Keenan or when Keenan's waiting for me to get home from work or when it's done, why don't I just get it done? And then that's it. It'll just be completely 100% done. And it's nice too because once it's done and we have time to sit on it for and then when we go back to it, that's when we can be ooh, well, I have this idea instead of being all right, the page is done, it's out, and then the next day being maybe we should change something. We have plenty of time to go off of that,
Mm-hmm. And my leg
work off that.
My leg is itchy, man.
Itchy, bro.
I feel like freaking mosquitoes. Okay, seriously, there was a wind tunnel. There was a wind tunnel that ran through my room, and it literally sucked the screen right off. Sucked the screen right off my window, and now it's just my blinds are there, and that's the only thing keeping mosquitoes out, and I think they are attacking my legs.
No, so here's
as
the
we
thing.
speak. And the management didn't believe us. They thought we were having like some crazy party. I was like, no, the wind completely just sucked the thing right off.
Yeah, and they were like, sure, it was the wind. And I was like, trust me, the wind sucked it off.
I know it sounds crazy.
Football, like,
I know it sounds crazy, but...
And but what was really funny is like, so Keenan screamed.
The wind was holding a football.
Yeah.
Is that what you said?
No, I was like, while I was holding a football, it just like sucked the screen off. Like, you know,
I said the wind did it, but it was holding a football.
No. And so like,
I like that.
But what's funny is Keenan's bedroom is right next to a tree, and so we're.
So it's gonna be like a squirrel.
No, yeah. So we're in here working, right? And we're in here working on this page. I look over like right above his desk, and there's this like gnarly spider like crawling down from the ceiling. And I mean, he could have been in here for like however long.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I'm almost certain he came from the trees. Like, you know, spiders live in trees, and he lives, you know, right there. And conveniently, like the day after his screen goes missing, there's a giant spider in here. Yeah. And Keenan's scared of spiders. He's scared of insects.
I'm scared of everything.
Period.
I'm scared of anything.
Like, I'm not even kidding.
It can be like this tiny, but like, ah!
Yeah. I was just like, I'm not really scared of spiders. And so I was like, dude, look at that spider. And the first thing he says, he jumps up out of a tree. He's like, it's going to kill me.
It's a brown recluse.
Yeah, he's like,
it's going to bite my hand and I'm going to have to amputate it.
It's like not even that big of a spider. He's like, dude, I think that's a black widow. And I was like, no, it's not.
It looks kind of like one.
Okay, it was brown. And so we go over there.
And then it was brown recluse.
No, it wasn't. So we go over there and we like look at it. He's like, well, it's got to be a brown recluse or something that's going to like jump on my face and kill me. I was like, no. No.
I'm scared of those things.
So I made him kill it. I made him squish it.
I caught it and I released it into the wild of the toilet bowl.
Have you seen My Dad?
What?
Get it?
No.
Finding Nemo.
Oh, is that what he says?
No.
Oh. So anyway, I think that's good. You want to call it good?
This page was great. It was awesome.
All right, guys. Yeah.
It was a lot of fun.
Thank you for tuning in for the director's commentary. Click that button if you want to get free stuff every month. Right now we're doing a pay what you want for this print. So yeah, click it if that sounds like something cool.
Heck yeah.
You would like to do.
Don't forget to subscribe to YouTube,
yeah.
Like us on Facebook, and follow us on Twitter and Instagram to stay updated. We post on there every day.
Lots of cool updates. So check it out. Thanks for joining us. Thumbs up if you like it. Thumbs down if you don't. I'm Keenan Lafferty.
Colton Kresser.
See you next time.